I got Mr. Daniel Dugar, Rodney Perry, and Gary Owens. Gentlemen, thank you for being here.
What's up, dog?
Thanks for having us, man. Thanks for having us.
All right, man. Good. How was it? The flight was all right?
Oh, awesome, awesome. It's only 17 hours.
Really?
How many
movies did you watch in your 18-hour flight?
I watched Boyhood, the first Spider-Man, and Maze Runner. And I was saving Maze Runner for this trip.
Oh,
I didn't watch it at all. So I'm gonna save it for this trip.
Is Boyhood as great as it hyped up to be?
It is.
I hear like you can't not cry.
I didn't cry, but it's you know, they filmed it over 12 years. That's a movie that took 12 years to make. And I took a little bit out of all the different relationships from your own family. I was like, okay, I identify with that dude right there.
Are you having a moment right now?
I am. It's good. It's good. I'm sorry.
I read a critic review. He said it was like watching the Wonder Years in 2 hours. Like the whole series in 2 hours.
It was good. It was good. I liked it. I liked it.
So, I mean, I've been studying y'all for a hot minute to make sure I'm prepared. Plus, I've been seeing y'all on TV, just Def Comedy Jam, BET, House of Pain, Ride Along, all this stuff for a long time. But for those people who don't know who you are, can you introduce yourself very, very briefly?
Well, if you don't know me, stab yourself in the throat. Okay? This is Rodney Perry. We've been getting it in. Come to the show and figure it out.
This is Daniel Dugar. Google me. It's all good.
Gary Owens, my first movie was Held Up with Jamie Foxx.
Nice.
And then I did Daddy Daycare with Eddie Murphy, Rebound with Martin Lawrence, Little Man with the Wayans Brothers, Think Like a Man 1 and 2, Ride Along, House of Pain with Tyler Perry, Wayans Brothers TV show. New Hour special drops
January
Friday.
16th.
Friday on Showtime. I don't know if you guys got it out here.
Oh, you have a new
special
coming out?
Yeah, Friday, January 16th. I kicked out. I wanted Martin Luther King weekend because nothing says Martin Luther King weekend like Gary Owen. You know what I mean?
And is it gonna be on iTunes and whatnot?
It'll be on all. Well, Showtime. What happens is Showtime has it for 60 days, and then on March 16th it'll be on Netflix, iTunes, and the DVD will be released. So they got to hold for 2 months.
That's what's up.
Basically, when we get back from Japan, as long as the flight is, it'll be out.
It'll be out. Yeah, really, literally.
So I know 2 of you were actually sailors in the past.
Yeah, I was, and Rodney was. Rodney was a yeoman?
I was a yeoman. I was somebody's got to do the paperwork.
Yeah, I was a master at arms. I was a cop.
Oh, that's great. Was it great?
Was it great?
The greatest job in the Navy.
I said my job was way more important though. Like Gary was shooting people, but
I didn't shoot nobody.
You didn't shoot nobody?
I didn't even arrest nobody.
You were checking ID.
Wait a minute.
Yo, I was checking. I wasn't arrested. I was on the ships. Like, hey, 2 oatmeal raisin cookies, homie. Don't take all the Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch is like crack on the ship.
Hilarious.
You be mad when you get cornflakes.
Did you actually get your start in comedy while you were still serving?
I was. Yeah. I got out.
Here.
I got out because I got offered. This crazy. I had 6 months left of my enlistment, and BET offered me the hosting job on Comic View, and I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like I'm out.
That's cool.
I left with no prospects. I just said, I want to tell you.
You went out on faith.
I went out on faith alone.
That's funny. I'm following your footsteps for about 2 years.
Hey, go for it, man. I just asked, when I went through the maps, I said, I need air conditioning. And they was like, oh, you want to be a yeoman.
Really? Like you actually went to maps like, what can I do to have AC?
They said, what do you want to do? I said, anything as long as it's air conditioning. Now, I qualify that with the fact that I was colorblind. So I had actually tested for some electronic jobs and stuff like that. And it was like, hey, you can't see.
You know they make colorblind shades now? Just fix it. Just good.
I had no idea.
I mean, it's like
I need that.
Gary?
I was in the honor guard for 2 years in D.C. I did the funerals and parades.
Wait, you just spinning the rifle uniform was super perfect every day.
I ain't lying. I was that dude. and then I was stationed in San Diego the rest of the time.
Really?
Never left the country.
So I know your career kind of popped off before you left the Navy.
Mm-hmm. I just took leave.
Huh?
I was doing stand-up while I was in, and I auditioned for BET's Comic View, and I just took a week's leave and went up and filmed in LA and drove back down to San Diego thinking that's over with. You know, might meet some girls, be the big man on the base. And then BT called, and literally I drove up to LA, and they was like, "Hey, you want the hosting job?" I was like, "Yeah."
Wow.
I had 6 months left and came back, and I let my whole base. I go, "I'm getting out," like immediately.
So let me ask you this, really both of y'all. So both of y'all were doing stand-up while you were still in.
Yes.
So I don't know if it was just different back then, but how did you balance out having to maintain the persona, the professionalism, blah 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 that the Navy wants you to have, and then going up on stage and talking about people's mamas and
I still do like Navy stuff. I still like if you catch me on stage, I got my gig line straight. You know, I'm still kind of squared away. You know, yeah, I'm like, I don't use the word gee dunk anymore, but stuff like that.
Now
But
you're taking me back.
I know, right? But it was a different time. I think you're right about that. It was a different
Is the
time.
Navy stricter now than when you were in?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know.
You guys got better uniforms. I know that.
Yeah, because like these camis you guys are wearing, we had the bell bottoms.
Dungarees.
Oh,
So-
I've heard of those.
Yeah. See, y'all don't even know about that. It's crazy to me. Like,
But
I got beef with the blue camis. What are they camouflaging? Nothing
In the
in
water.
nature is blue.
Listen, if the ship goes down,
I want them to see me. I want golden camouflage.
I think they don't want to see us, and that's the purpose of it. Gary, was it a difficult balancing act?
That was like Dexter. You know, like the series, like serial killer at night, and then back being a cop on base.
Exactly.
The worst is when I pull guys over on base and they saw my show. Hey man, you getting off? Go ahead, man. That's all you did. If you saw my stand-up, you wouldn't get no ticket. You saw me? You serious? Go ahead. I don't care if you're drunk. Go ahead, man.
Hey, I'm about to choke laughing, man. We'll be right back. So, big fan of stand-up comedy. So, of course, I went to go see Top 5 last week.
Okay.
Have y'all seen it?
Yes.
I saw it.
Yeah, I saw it.
I'm not allowed to see it.
Wait a minute.
Wait, hold on. Before we get back to that, what you think?
I enjoyed it. I think it's kind of inside for just regular people.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of inside Hollywood,
Yeah.
kind of. So I can see why people wouldn't enjoy it. But for me, as somebody that's in the entertainment business, I kind of got it.
And anything with Rosario in it, I'm going to see it.
Yeah, man. He's up. So, wait.
I can't see it.
Gary, why can't you see it?
Well, I'm not allowed to see it because
You're not allowed.
What?
Not allowed.
I'm not allowed to see it because when they did the red carpet premiere, Gabrielle, they asked all the people in the movie name your top 5 comics, and everyone gave the run of the mill. Richard Pryor, George Carlin, Eddie Murphy. It was the same 5, and everybody said Chris Rock. It was a movie, obviously.
Oh, okay.
But Gabrielle Union said Gary Owen. And then the host, the person I was interviewing was like, oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I didn't think of him. And then Chris Rock at left field goes, Gary Owen, top 5.
He came from another
interview. Came into Gabrielle's all time. And Gabrielle stuck by her gun. She's like this. She goes, yep. And this is what she said. She goes, I always loved Gary. You know, we've done a few movies together. She goes, but I sat him with my parents at my wedding. She goes, anybody can sit through my parents at my wedding will always be in my top 5.
Nice.
And then Chris Rock goes, well, Sandler. He said, Adam Sandler danced with all my aunts at my wedding. He'll always be my dude. So he kind of got over it, but my wife, that was it. She goes, screw Chris Rock. We're not seeing top 5. You don't talk about my man not being. But Gabrielle stuck to her gun. She goes, yep, top 5.
Nice.
Top 5.
Is that weird as a celebrity, having to take little things people said more seriously than you normally would?
I don't. I just let it roll. I get where Chris is coming from, but don't get her to change her mind.
Yeah, don't publicly like. Are you sure?
But Gabrielle's my girl. When I say every show, if she's in town, she comes to see me. Every show. She's just a fan. She was a fan before we did movies together. You know,
she's really good in that movie. I haven't seen her like good in a movie in a hot minute.
She was good. That one scene.
One scene where she's about to lose it.
When she told him, "Dude, I needed you."
Yeah.
That scene, that was deep.
Yeah, and I
need you to be here for me. That scene, that was deep.
It's a really. I'm sorry, your wife won't let you see it, but it's a good.
I'll see it. I just can't tell her. I'll see it though.
Hilarious.
Oh man, well I've seen a lot lately with Top 5, with Louis C.K. with a lot of stuff is, a lot of comedians treating stand-up as the holy grail and not a stepping stone. And I think I've seen that's a new thing because before, maybe 5 years ago, when you hear about stand-up comedy, everyone's doing it to get on the big screen.
Oh, that's a good.
It's a vehicle,
I like that.
That was deep. That was
great
probably
question.
the best.
That was deep,
That was
man.
probably the best analogy I've ever heard.
That was great.
And so, has that changed for you in the last? All of y'all have been in movies, right? I looked you up on IMDb.
I was in the indie. Nobody saw it, but more so these guys here.
Wait, didn't you do one of the National Lampoons? Something?
Yeah, but that wasn't. That was a DVD series.
Still a movie.
Yeah.
Still a movie.
Yeah.
So let me ask you. I know you've been in a lot of movies and you got a regular TV paycheck coming out. Good for you. But where does stand-up fit in with the other things that's kind of brought to you?
Well, I always say my stand-up is what I always be. The movies for me is to broaden my fan base as a stand-up.
Yeah.
And even I always tell my wife it's funny and this I don't want this to sound crazy, but any checks I get from movies or TV to me is extra. Like I always consider my stand-up money is how I pay my bills and how I live my life according to my stand-up paychecks, basically. The movie stuff always seem like bonuses. Like when my agent calls and negotiating a movie contract, I just be like, it's whatever, because I never count that money. I'd be like, what? Just what? Let's take it. Take the first offer.
Daniel,
Mm-hmm.
what is?
I would say for me, and that was a great question, man. There are a lot of artists, and I definitely relate to what Gary is saying. It widens your fan base, which widens your revenue. But stand-up is numero uno for me. You know, if movies and all that stuff, sitcoms, if that come, the holy grail for me is still a stand-up.
I'm gonna echo what these gentlemen said as well. I'm gonna stand up first, and the reality is, I figured out early on in my career that in order to get people to come see me live, which is what I want, I had to do some acting. I had to do television, I had to do film, and I had to host and do stuff like that. But it's kind of a catch-22, because when people know you for one thing, they kind of just know you for that thing. And so for me personally in my career, I've had to reintroduce people to my stand-up. You know, because they see you with, Monique on the Monique show, or they see you with Tyler Perry in the film, and they go, oh, that's the dude, that's the actor dude. And you're like, no, because like you asked about social media, people will go at you on the social media thinking you're an actor, and be like, okay, here we go, because I put these things on you. I got a sharp tongue. Yeah.
I saw that that show Iconoclast, where they would mix different kinds of celebrities. So they had a special, and it was Dave Chappelle and Maya Angelou, and they were talking.
Excellent interview.
So you saw it, right?
I did. Yeah.
And up until I saw that episode, right, I looked at stand-up as that's just something silly to laugh at for 45 minutes. But then they analyzed it with, Dave Chappelle, a silly man, showing him next to a Nobel Prize-winning writer.
Exactly. And having a great conversation.
Yeah. But then you go back and watch Dave Chappelle's clips. And Dave Chappelle was deep the whole time, but you didn't notice it because he was too busy laughing.
Yeah. Comedians do this. Comedians make tough subjects easy to swallow.
Yes, and they're able to address so many things that if anybody else addressed it, there'd be 10 million iPhone activists trying to make something go viral to try to bury them.
iPhone activists.
iPhone activists. So that said.
I love the analogies, man.
Where do you find your material? Because I know you're silly, but you get serious stuff in there too. Like, where do you draw your lines? How do you figure out what it is that you want to talk about before you get to the funny stuff?
I go back to Foxworthy always said, if I think something's funny, he goes, I would think somebody else would see it funny.
Right.
So if a lot of my stuff's my family, so if my daughter or my son says something funny, I'll just repeat it on stage. I always say my life on stage is my life on HGH and steroids. It's me. I'm just adding to it to make it funny. But it is me.
Honestly, I'm just super thankful that y'all came out because, like I said, we're kind of in the outskirts of Japan. We're like we're doing this.
We took those flights.
Like the cities that we go to party when we leave Sasebo are still small cities. Like we're not even going to the big town.
I know because when I Googled them, Google said, "Do you mean?"
So it's always a big deal for us when we get real celebrities that aren't already kind of 15-year has-beens like y'all are popular right now. I've seen you in theaters every year, and you're on TV currently, House of Pain, right?
Yeah, but the big thing is the new special. If you have Showtime in Japan,
we have AFN TV. We kind of just get a weird mix of everything.
We'll have your people DVR it.
I promise. When it comes to iTunes, I'll tell everybody. Hey, I saw.
Well, that'll be March 16th.
Even if it's not funny, I'll tell people, hey, it was great.
Well, you ain't gotta worry about that.
I know, man. I'll
That's like asking LeBron. Even if you don't have a good game, LeBron. Oh, I'm gonna go for 30. You might not win, but I'll go for it.
No, man. I'll definitely plug you in mid-March when your special comes out. So the show tonight is at Galaxies. It's at 8 p.m.
You're telling us because I don't know. Okay, Galaxies. Yeah.
Oh man, so the show tonight, everybody, it's at Galaxies. It's at 8 p.m. I mean, the last couple of comedians we had, we were good, but y'all are in your prime. You're on TV and movies right now.
Let me tell you something, big dog.
This
is probably one of the knockdown funniest shows you ever gonna see. Period. Dugar is crazy, ridiculous. He comes out, sets the tone. Rodney Perry, Gary Owen. It's really a show. I put this show up against most shows. Period.
All right.
Period. When you talk about top five, I put this show up against most shows. Period. Give me 3 other guys, we'll take them all.
Well,
just like that.
I don't have three other guys.
And it's authentic.
It's authentic.
I mean, honestly, man, you watch the show. We all have different styles, but it's brutally honest comedy. It's honest comedy. It's not trying to take from anybody else. Gary is a goofy, funny dude.
Oh no, Gary's a
Rodney
beast. I watched all your stand-ups all week.
Funny dude. I'm a laid back, very direct, funny dude.